Welcome to Lotus Talks. And today we are talking to Gautama Prabhu, the founder and president of the Tamil Buddhist Society, and also the president of the Tamil Buddhist Council. He's joining us from Chennai in Tamil Nadu. Buddhism was at one stage quite a strong force in South India. What happened to it, especially Tamil Buddhism?
For us, Buddhism got introduced to the South India way back in somewhere between 273 BC to 236 BCE. So we have plenty of informations about Ashoka's rock edicts referring to the Buddha Dhamma, and absolutely no doubt that the first royal patronage of Buddhism in Tamil Nadu is Ashoka the Great. Now, even though Ashoka was the patron, the main patron, but we had Mahinda and we have Sanghamitra. Both of them have traveled deep towards Tamil Nadu, especially. And there is a place called Mahindrapalli, which is close to my village, my own hometown. So that's the last town. So we have plenty of informations about Buddhism in Tamil Nadu. And in fact, our literature is closely connected with Buddhism. And I would always say that there is no Buddhism without Tamil, and there is no Tamil Buddhism, especially when I talk under the context of South India. And you see the cultural aspect. We have a great amount of influence of Buddhism. And our linguistics, the language that we use, has plenty of terms that is directly connected to Buddhism. And we have the archaeological evidences, which is none other than Buddhism. If at all, if it is not Buddhism, then it would be only landing up with Jainism. So I would say the majority of the artifacts that we have, the important monuments and the shrines that we have in Tamil Nadu are mostly the Buddhist.
If you look at Buddhism in India, and especially in Tamil Nadu, the Tamil identity is not associated with Buddhism today.
And when I see this closely in terms of different dimensions of anthropology, what I would say is, as I said, that it is inseparable. Tamil and the Buddhist identities are inseparable. Now, throughout our history that we have in South India, or for that matter, even the Dravidian culture, is under the framework, is under the huge influence of Buddhism. Now, at one period of time, especially in when I'm talking about South India, in comparison to the North India, what happened in North India is there's a big invasion and destructive forces which were operating against the Buddhist community, where the major hunk of damages were done by the Brahmin communities and also by the Islamic forces. So both played a major role in the fall of Buddhism, I would say, in the northern India. But whereas in southern India, it's a little different way we have to see, because South was more progressive than the North, and even Master Xuanzang has made this reference that in the north of India, there is a downfall of Buddhism, and in the south is the hope. He had mentioned this.
So that's Xuanzang is the Chinese scholar who spent many years in Nalanda. You're referring to.
That's right, Xuanzang. That's right. So Master Xuanzang, when he visited, he paid tributes to all these places. And the picture that I'm having is of Mahabalipuram, and it's a Pallava architecture. It's a beautiful Pallava architecture, and these all the monuments that we still have has a tremendous amount of Buddhist influence, and especially in Tamil Nadu, we have 4 kinds of architecture, and all these architectures are none other than the Buddhist architecture. Now, what happened is the influence of Hinduism only came in the 15th century. The Shaivite influence and the Vaishnavite influence. Of course, we can we have plenty of informations about Shaivism and Vaishnavism much before. But as a state patron, as a very strong force, it happened only in the 15th century. So 15th century witnessed many kinds of transformation. Like, for example, the Kanchipuram temple became a Hindu temple. The Tiruvannamalai temple became a Hindu temple. So all these temples were being restructured, and all that they could do is remove the idols of the Buddha and replace that with the Hindu gods. So it's the state patronage that we see here is when the Buddhist kingdom or the Buddhist kings became weak, when the Hindu forces like the Shaivite kings or the Vaishnavite kings took over, then all that they did is, taking complete authority and control over these shrines and temples. So that's what we had witnessed.
Now, recently, a couple of years ago, I did visit Mahabalipuram temple, you see in the background there. Now, I saw it as a Hindu temple. It was presented as a Hindu temple. There was nothing mentioned about the Buddhist influence, which you just mentioned.
That's
now,
right.
How can Buddhists, if I put it so, reclaim it?
Well, this is a big debate among the South Indian Buddhists as well. Each time we see these vihars, we get a kind of like a feeling. It's a deeply, I would say, emotionally connected subject for us as being a Buddhist. Because when I see a mosque, I see the Islamic brothers and sisters. They pay their homage. They visit the Muslim brothers. They visit the mosque. They do their practice. I'm seeing our Christian friends. They go to the church, so they have their own ancient church as well, which has been properly protected and well maintained through the British patronage. And we see the Hindu temples as well. But unfortunately for the Buddhists, we are only able to admire these beautiful monuments. And each time we see that, we also have this feeling that someday this property or these monuments will be given to the Buddhists to maintain it. But now it has become state subject. It is all under the Monuments Act of the Indian government. So it's very difficult for us to claim these important places. On the other front, we also have the Hindus who have occupied the Buddhist temples. Like, for example, we have the Egambareshwar and a couple of other temples, like the temple of Manimegale, which was once also called as the Taradevi Amman temple. Now this Manimegale temple is now called as the Kamakshi temple. So these are all the direct proof that we have, evidences that we have to prove that Buddhism was once prevailing. And now the circumstance is, I would say, as a Buddhist point of view, it is also not appropriate for me to capture these monuments or the temples that have been taken over by the Hindus. So what we could perhaps do is, we could create a similar architecture and develop a temple which could revive Buddhism, and it could also revive the consciousness of Buddhism. That's what we are up to. So we have to bring an appraisal of Buddhist consciousness by developing such kinds of Buddhist architecture-oriented infrastructure, which will help us to revive Buddhism in South India.
I have been talking today on Lotus Talks to Gautama Prabhu, the founder and president of the Tamil Buddhist Society, and also the president of the Tamil Buddhist Council in Chennai, India. Thank you, and good luck to you in your work.